Biscuits and Blurays podcast, where we watch Blu-rays and the biscuit would never thought his life would be anything but oh, what a banger. I don't know why we're doing this. And first of all, I'd like to say a few things before we introduce ourselves.
Okay.
My expectations were so low.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I'll say. but my expectations were so low going in.
Okay.
I'm your host James, co-host Jade.
Hello.
Oh, this is a surprise, isn't it?
It is.
Well, essentially, what we've done is, and this was your idea, was to record a podcast just so we've got one in the bank, just in case.
Yeah, because we've had a few times, haven't we, in the last few weeks where you've been like, quick, I need to get editing because life just gets in the way sometimes.
You know what? When you're doing stuff, the life just stands in front of you and just
It
stops
just does.
walking. Yeah. So this is this episode.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's this film.
Yes, you do.
I know exactly why it's this film. But I'm impressed that we've watched it and I've a lot to say about it.
This is a film I never thought I would ever watch as well, so...
I think you're a liar.
No, I never thought I'd watch this. I enjoyed the Nostalgia Critics version of this
Absolutely.
so much that I felt like I'd already seen it.
Mm-hmm. And I took a punt and I was like, should we watch this? Because I was at work and this was on the shelf.
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, why not? Should we do that? And you said yes.
Yes, let's do it.
Wholeheartedly. Mm-hmm. I think you said yes not knowing what you got yourself into.
Yeah, massively.
Mm-hmm. You fell into the chocolate river.
Absolutely, straight up that pipe.
Straight, you got sucked right off. So,
oh my goodness.
What? This is... Okay, Jade. Have you seen Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
Yes, we watched it together. Do you remember?
Yes, we did. And we had a good old time.
We did.
Jade, are you a fan of Tom and Jerry?
I am indeed.
Well, tell me about your fandom for Tom and Jerry.
I used to make the cakes.
What? Is that where it starts? Those make yourself cake? Those little...
Do people remember the fairy cakes with the pink icing?
Okay.
You can make yourself at home.
Well, I mean, I know I do. Surely other people will remember those.
What a time. I think you can still buy it. Is it Green's cookery stuff?
I don't know.
We're not sponsored, guys. This is just me on here.
I don't think anyone's going to rush out to buy anything that
Fucking hell.
we sponsor. So, it's fine. Okay. But yes, I remember those cakes. Were you a fan of the show or just the cakes?
Both.
Great. Okay.
Yeah, I remember, weirdly, I've got a dead random memory of being on holiday with my family, and they've got one of those TVs that you had to pay, like, to put euros in to get it to play. I'm talking like this is really old.
Is this in Butlins or what's going on?
Shut up. I think it was in Spain. So my dad put some money in and it was only like Spanish channels, except for just Tom and Jerry was just showing on a random channel. And I remember just watching it all the way through the holiday and just being like, this is fucking good.
How much did you pay for that?
Too fucking much.
Okay. Yeah. I'd argue that for Tom and Jerry, it's never enough. I would pay a fortune to watch a good Tom and Jerry cartoon.
Excellent.
I'm just letting you know. I'm a big fan of Tom and Jerry.
Okay.
Growing up, I'd always watch them. A certain era of Tom and Jerry, anyway.
Yeah.
So, you know, like when they look good, not the Chuck Jones stuff. Mm-hmm. Talking the Hanna-Barbera. Mm-hmm. Good Tom and Jerry's.
The dog next door, please. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of physical comedy and slapstick. I like that sort of stuff. I do use Tom as a inspiration for some acting I do.
Really? Which acting?
Just acting in general.
Because your acting's very Jim Carrey.
Yes, but I think that in itself is very Tom from Tom and Jerry.
Oh, okay. It's very, what's the word? It's quite emotive, isn't he, Tom? I quite like that.
Absolutely. He's my favourite.
Yeah, I always preferred Tom to Jerry. You little shit.
So, I have a lot of love for Tom and Jerry. Obviously, do you remember Tom and Jerry Kids?
Vaguely.
Tom and Jerry Kids. No?
I don't remember that particular song, but I remember vaguely.
Okay.
I remember the Looney Tunes being small. I'm thinking of something else.
You're thinking of Tiny Toons.
Yeah, I remember Tiny Toons.
Okay.
They all kind of fall under the same bracket for me a little bit.
Well, they did when they were... Because you had probably Cartoon Network.
Yeah,
Or Boomerang or whatever. So,
no, how dare you. Cartoon Network.
Oh, okay, fine. But yeah, Cartoon Network would have Scooby-Doo, Looney Tunes,
Oh,
Tom
love
and Jerry.
me some Scooby-Doo.
Exactly. So you went without television. I didn't have any of that. I had 4 channels growing up.
Aww.
And I still do. I still live in the 1930s.
Aw, poor Charlie Bucket.
Aww. Yeah, actually. Does he have a TV?
Yeah, they've got like little tiny TV.
A little tiny toilet. Okay, so someone in their infinite wisdom, and I'm not sure where this started, decided to do mashups of Tom and Jerry with certain movies.
Yeah, because this isn't the only mashup film. There are others, aren't there, as well, out there.
There is a Tom and Jerry and the Wizard of Oz. Mm-hmm. There is a Tom and Jerry and Robin Hood and his Merry Men. I think "and" is the word. This one is Tom and Jerry and
The Evil Dead.
What? I'd watch it. Oh, can you imagine?
Oh, you'd have such a good time, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. This one is actually Tom and Jerry and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
What did you say? Too many ands.
There's too many ands. Get those ands out of there. Were you a fan of this?
What do you mean in general?
Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm asking. That question is this: when I press play, did you think, okay, I'm not going to get anything out of this?
No.
Okay, that's good.
I thought there'd be some good Tom and Jerry slapstick. And straight off the bat, I think the initial kind of scenes that we get with Tom and Jerry are genuinely quite funny. Mm-hmm. Later on in the film, it gets a bit boring for me when other characters come into the mix.
Okay.
But the initial stuff in the beginning, me and you found ourselves laughing quite a lot and was very disappointed with one another.
Both of us laughed at the same bit, like, quite early on.
Yeah, and was like, shit, what we're doing?
And we're like, oh my god, no. Like, we've lost any shred of credibility we've got. If we had any. Do we have credibility on this podcast?
Absolutely not.
Okay, well, if we were to have a certain amount of credibility...
That's gone now.
It's all gone. Like, I'm sorry, guys, but we laughed at Tom and Jerry and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
And we shouldn't have done.
I think that the Tom and Jerry stuff in this is some of the best Tom and Jerry stuff I've seen.
Wow.
Let me finish, for a long time.
Wow.
I was a watcher of the Tom and Jerry movie.
Okay, I don't think I've seen the Tom and Jerry movie.
It's shit.
It's anything like the Looney Tunes film you made me fucking watch.
Back in Action?
Absolute shit.
You rated this the same as that?
Absolute shit.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not that bad.
Absolute shit.
Well, okay. Well, joke's on you, because we've got a new legacy you've not watched yet.
Oh, for fuck's.
Nor have you actually seen Space Jam, so...
I have seen Space Jam, just not all in one go.
That will change, folks. That will change.
That's going to change soon.
Soon?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I've said something I can't take
Uh-oh! I appreciate animation. I think animation is quite difficult. I like a 2D animation. Mm-hmm. And this one feels like a 2D animation.
Yeah. Does it feel cheap to you?
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think it reeks of low budget.
Yeah.
Because it's straight to DVD. Mm-hmm. Also, kudos to whoever put on the cover original movie, because it isn't.
It is not an original movie. Some of these shots in this film that they've animated are shot for shot from the Gene Wilder film that we love so much.
Oh yeah, just a quick thing. It is the Gene Wilder version. It's not Johnny Depp. It's not
Wonka.
But this is better than Wonka.
This is better than Wonka.
If you'd have said, okay, a Wonka prequel starring Dune's Timothée Chalamet, directed by Paddington's Paul King, was worse than Tom and Jerry and Willy Wonka crossover, would you have believed me?
Yes.
What? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, the more I think about Wonka, the more I absolutely despise it. Mm-hmm. Because I felt like it was cheap.
If you would like to hear our thoughts on Wonka, we have a Wonka episode on talking about bloody Wonkas.
But I do still like Chalamet.
Okay, great.
Whether it was miscast,
yes,
but I don't hate him in it. I just think as a film, Wonka was crap. Sorry.
Obviously, this is a cartoon. We don't have any big stars in it.
No.
However, we do have some talent in the voice booth.
And you were so excited when you heard this within the first 5 minutes of the film.
I didn't even have to look it up. I knew who it was.
I like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a certain Mr. Jess Harnell. So, I'm a big fan of him. He is my favourite. He does the voice of my favourite Animaniac.
Yeah, Wacko.
It is that one. Yeah, okay.
The one that sounds a little bit like Ringo Starr.
Yes. From the get-go, when he started singing the Who Can Take a Sunrise, I was like, that I know exactly which actor that is.
Oh, and I'm so glad that you was excited to see it.
And you know what? He did Grandpa Joe as well, and I thought he did a really good job.
Grandpa Joe is an abomination in every version of this story.
The benefits fraud.
I'd say you're the problem with this world.
Cabbage boy. They eat cabbage, right?
Yeah, they got cabbage stew or something.
Soup, yeah.
Ew.
Oh, God. You'd have to wring out those bed sheets every fucking day, wouldn't you?
Oh, everything about that bed looks fusty and horrible.
Because this one is a shot for shot, basically the Tom and Jerry stuff is sort of interjected in to the Willy Wonka stuff. With the Willy Wonka stuff being shot for shot, did you think that's quite good, or did you think, well, what's the point?
It's kind of what's the point? But if you're going to have them in the story, I mean, they try and build in an extra storyline with them, and they cut a lot of stuff out from the Gene Wilder one because they've got to. Otherwise, you'd have a movie that goes on for hours and hours and hours.
I don't think that film's that long, though, is it?
I think it is. You know, when you think about before they actually get to the factory itself, there's a massive build-up with the searching for the tickets.
Oh,
You've got
yeah.
Cheer Up Charlie.
Oh.
You've got quite a little bit of stuff in between that.
Sure. And then it's into the factory.
And then it's into the factory. But again, they cut out factory bits for this.
They did. However, you do have to get that Tom and Jerry stuff in there somewhere.
Yeah, so I did like I've got a golden ticket.
Watch my speed!
Because they're dancing and they're doing the normal number and Tom and Jerry are just fannying about in the background.
And that's what I didn't like.
I quite did when he was under the bed with the bedpan on his head. That was quite good.
Okay, just one thing. Did you not think that distracted from the actual story, though?
I suppose because I know it so much already. Mm-hmm. Not really, because it's already like playing in my mind almost. You know, because I've watched the original film so many times.
How many times would you say you've watched that original
A
film?
ridiculous amount of times.
Two times.
2 times. 2
Do-do-do.
times.
Yeah, okay. Alright, yeah, sure. I don't think this film is for us. This is for our generation to show our children.
Yes.
Essentially. Mm-hmm. Because, I'll say it, the Gene Wilder film is frightening.
Yeah, and I quite like that about it.
Gene Wilder's a genius, and I love that film. It's a 5-star film for me.
Yes, it's a 5-star film.
But only because of that performance.
And I love other elements of it.
Okay. Such as?
I love the fact that it's set in like the 70s. I think that's great.
I don't think it is set in the 70s,
I think it's got a very 70s vibe to it, and I'm here for it.
Oh, I disagree. I think it's set... Well, I think it's... Because it was filmed in the 70s, but it was made in Germany.
Yeah, I love it. I love the entire aesthetic of that film.
I agree, yeah. Timelessness.
Yeah,
About,
I adore it.
I think some of the performances here are quite good, vocally. Mm-hmm. But I do think... Well, first of all, the guy voicing Willy Wonka, mm-hmm. I think obviously he's tasked with, okay, I can't be Wilder. Mm-hmm. But I think he puts a good spin on it.
I thought he was pretty good, to be fair.
And it's similar with the animation. I don't think they're ripping off Gene Wilder too much. Mm-hmm. I think with the main characters, Willy Wonka, Charlie and Grandpa Joe, mm-hmm. I think they have taken some sort of creative liberty.
Yeah.
I don't think they've done that for everyone else.
No, I will say, though, that the animator doing the teacher was excellent.
Oh, yeah. If you've got one Wonka bar, you've got another Wonka bar.
Yeah, I thought that was really good.
Class dismissed, yeah.
He didn't really look like him, but he had the same kind of mannerisms, and the way he was slouched over, it was fabulous. I liked that. If you're watching this expecting to see something different, you're not going to get too much, other than a bit of an interjected story with Slugworth for no reason.
Let's talk about Slugworth, because he's in this a lot.
Again, for no reason.
Slugworth is, of course, for anyone who hasn't seen the movie, I don't think he's in the book.
No, I don't think so.
I think he might be mentioned, but I don't think he plays a big role.
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously in new Timothée Chalamet one, he's like the main baddie. Mm-hmm. So, Slugworth in this, he goes, I want an everlasting gobstopper. Nya, nya, nya.
So he does the same thing as he does in the Gene Wilder film, where everyone finds their golden tickets and then he's lurking in the background telling them he wants an everlasting gobstopper.
Yeah.
But for some reason, when he gets to Charlie, he turns into fucking Pink Floyd's The Wall for no reason.
Have you seen Pink Floyd's The Wall?
I have seen it, yeah.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't. I'm aware of that animation, though.
Yeah, even the look of the teacher in that,
Mm-hmm.
he's got the same sort of facial look, especially with the glasses, the bowler hat, it was all very weird.
Maybe that's because the animators thought, oh, Slugworth looks like the guy from The Wall. Let's do it like that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a hint at that. This scene where he goes, "You've got, Charlie, run home, Charlie. You've got the ticket, whatever." Slugworth stops him. He's like, "I want an everlasting gobstopper. Get me an everlasting gobstopper. I'll tell you all about it." And then he starts singing a song, but it's not an original song.
No.
It's
Veruca's
song. I want the world. I want a bean feast.
Yeah, it was very strange.
And yeah, like you said, it does go a bit abstract. Mm-hmm. Because him and Tom and Jerry are doing a chase on the wall because they're made of paint.
Yeah. Again, the wall. It turns into a factory.
Yeah.
It's it's all very bad, but also very good. I don't know. It's strange.
For Tom and Jerry slapstick, do you have any moments in their history where you've gone, that's really good? Are there any bits that you remember?
There's an animation with them, and I think they're battling a witch.
Yeah, I know.
It's really, really good, and I remember laughing so hard watching it.
Doesn't Tom become the witch's cat?
I think so. Honestly, it's one of the funniest ones I've seen.
Okay.
That's the one I really remember that sticks out. What about you?
I remember the one, and this is just off the top of my head, but the one where Tom has the manual of how to catch a mice.
Yeah.
And then, it's putting dynamite in the hole and stuff, and it blows the house up. But I always remember the bit where he's like, "Don't you believe it?" Creepy, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Tom and Jerry, classic. I think this is quite good because of it's got the same elements. It follows the same beats and rhythm as those classic cartoons.
Yeah.
For instance, there's a bit where Tom and Jerry are trying to steal Wonka bars for Charlie. Mm-hmm. And Tom and Jerry go climbing through the window at the top of the candy store. Mm-hmm. Heather's reference? No.
No.
But Tom gets... The window slams on Tom. Tom screams. And then Jerry, out of nowhere, just slams a plant in his mouth. Just to shut him up. But it's that rhythm. It's the...
Slam.
Slam.
In the mouth.
Poof. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I appreciate.
Yeah, you were laughing at that.
It got me. And I thought the scream was quite good.
Yeah.
I am a fan of Tom's screams. You can put that on record.
I'm a fan of Tom's screams.
Because we are doing this because we are fans of... Well, let's face it. We take inspiration from Nostalgia Critic.
Yeah.
And we have been fans of him for a while. Mm-hmm. He's done this.
Yeah.
And he's pointed out moments where the animation...
just goes very creepy.
Yeah. And...
without meaning to, I think.
Why is this, do you think? Is that because the animation is cheap?
Possibly. I think there's a couple of moments where characters, especially Charlie, they almost look into the, what do you call it? Almost like they're looking at you. And they just completely zoned out in a really weird expression.
Oh, God, yeah, I know which bit you're thinking. The bit where... Well, first of all, the bit in the school where the kid knocks on the door and the teacher answers the door. But the kid, it's a split second of animation. I thought it was longer. But the kid stood there doing this sort of...
pose with his hand on his hip like, hey!
He looks like a drag queen, like... I'm fierce, and I've got news for you about this Wonka stuff. Anyway, that happens.
It's just outside the door for no reason. I'm pretty sure in the film, the teacher's like, "What's happening?" And the little boy turns around and tells him.
Yeah.
Not just stood outside the door as if he was waiting for it to open.
And then Charlie is sort of daydreaming, but he's got this look on his face as if as if he's thinking about. Just murdering everyone.
It's so weird.
Just really taking everyone out. And we got a laugh out of that.
Yeah, we did.
But that's not the only moment. I would recommend this film to anyone just because of those moments.
This would be a good drinking game.
Yes.
So you take a shot whenever there's a really weird face animation where you're like, what the fuck is that? And you just take a shot. You'd be bladdered.
I think you'd be sober until Wonka showed up because he had loads.
He had a lot of them.
I'm glad they could cheer up Charlie.
Oh, it's crapping everyone.
Cheer up Charlie, give me a smile. Cabbages, eat your... I don't like that song.
It's boring, isn't it?
Yeah. However, we do get Grandpa Joe's I've Got a Golden Ticket. Absolute banger, off the bat. However, a problem with this moves at speed.
Yeah.
This is maybe, an hour and a half? Hour and 20?
Maybe.
So stuff's cut, and we've got to get through it.
Yeah.
It's fast. Mm-hmm. Where the moment where Grandpa Joe gets up out of bed, and he's like, look at me! In the movie, he stands up, and there's a beat, and you really take time. It's like a miracle that he's got out of bed.
Yeah.
Here, he gets up out of bed... He goes, look at me! I never thought... And then just starts singing that song.
Straight into it.
It's like, you've really got to stay with this one.
But again, it isn't for us.
Yeah.
It's for kids, so it's got to be fast, like a cartoon.
There's so much to cram in. But I think a lot of this is filler in itself. If you're taking stuff out but adding stuff in, fine. But as long as you're adding stuff in that is good. Mm-hmm. A lot of the Tom and Jerry stuff, particularly the Slugworth and the Butch bits, not the manly bits, the dog.
Yeah.
They don't excite me, but I don't think Butch and Slugworth are good characters anyway.
No, they've been put into this to give Tom and Jerry something to do. Because when they do get to the factory, the story plays out like it normally does. Mm-hmm. But again, Tom and Jerry make no sense being in it otherwise. So they've got to have this sort of plan that Slugworth's in the factory and they need to warn Wonka. Mm. But really, you could take them out and you've still got the original film. Nothing's changed. Yeah,
there's maybe a 15-minute cut of this where it tells the exact story.
Yeah.
And I'd watch that cut.
Exactly. It's weird, but I'm low-key really here for it.
There are questionable choices, though. For instance, when it's the morning of the factory opening, mm-hmm. and Grandpa Joe's forgot his ticket.
Yeah.
The golden ticket. He's got one fucking job. Mm-hmm. Well, two, if you include walking there.
But he's got no fucking job, has he? That's the problem.
I mean, you said it. What are you trying to say, babe?
He's taking money for tobacco, and yet he's just sat in bed when actually can be walking about.
I don't think they mentioned tobacco in this one.
He said he was saving his money. Where was he getting that money from?
Crack cocaine.
Knew it.
You don't have a moustache like that and not hide crack cocaine. But he loses the ticket, so Tom and Jerry decide to bring it to him. Meanwhile, they're being chased by a bird who steals the ticket, and it's a big stupid. But you've still got Mike TV, hello, welcome to the factory. All that going on at the same time. Mm-hmm. So it feels like a race against time almost, but it's not. Then Jerry gets the ticket, and he runs up with it, and he climbs up Grandpa Joe's trouser leg, and we thought we're going to see cock and ball.
It felt very Lemmy Winks. From South Park.
Yeah, it did.
We were both laughing at that bit because we also got a very deep pocket shot.
Oh God, yeah.
Joe, that again we didn't need.
Mm-hmm. It looked very upsetting.
It was very wrong indeed.
When we get into the factory, we don't have. I must have blinked because I don't remember seeing them sign anything.
No, none of that was in there.
However, that comes back later in the film.
Yeah.
So when did that happen?
You've just got... That's the thing. Because we know the story anyway, I think they just assume, because parents are watching it with kids...
Right.
They already know it. They'll already... Because in your head you've seen it before, probably so many times, you'll assume you've seen it again.
Okay. That's fair. However...
It's like the butterflies.
Oh, okay. So this is cluing us in as to what is actually happening. This is the true story. This is the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead.
Yes.
As opposed to Hamlet or whichever one they were in.
Yeah.
I think it's Hamlet. I don't know Shakespeare. I have a degree.
But so you have performed Shakespeare.
I have performed Shakespeare. Do I understand it? No. Would I do it again? Probably not.
Famous last words.
I would never do it again. It's on record now.
And then it'd be like, James Hullams
is
playing Hamlet.
Biscuits and Blurays present Richard III. I'm like, no! Would we do it on here? I think we talk about Romeo and Juliet on here.
Probably, because that's Films of Anger.
Well, you like that one. Kissing you. I don't know that guy.
Oh, the Baz Luhrmann one.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that one.
Which one did you think I was talking about? The other one?
There's loads of Romeo and Juliet.
There's too many Romeos and Juliets.
Oh, it's a timeless tale.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what is a timeless tale? Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, what a vibe.
I don't remember Tuffy the Mouse. Full stop.
You don't?
No. I don't remember, Tuffy... For anyone who's listening, Tuffy is a mouse who is a sidekick who can talk. But I don't remember Tuffy being in any of the original cartoons.
I couldn't tell you, if I'm being honest.
I will just do a quick Google. Oh, that's Tuffy. I don't remember Tuffy ever speaking.
She might not have done.
Tuffy's a baby.
Well, it's showing us Nibbles, so...
Oh, did Nibbles then become Tuffy then?
Maybe.
I remember that one.
Well, it's an image that we remember, isn't it? It may have become Tuffy and other things. Who knows?
No, apparently that is it. I've typed in Tuffy the Mouse and that is the one.
Yeah.
Or is it Duffy? Oh, Nibbles, also known as Tuffy. Okay.
Oh.
So it is the same mouse.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad we sorted that out.
We've sorted out a bit... Well, the answer to one of life's biggest questions.
You know what? We don't often go into the lore of movies, but I'm glad we did for this one.
Absolutely.
Tuffy is an Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, so when Tom and Jerry end up in the factory, they end up chased in. Mm-hmm. They come across... Why?
What else is she going to do?
Did she need to be here?
No. Do I appreciate that she is here? Yes.
Do you appreciate it for one scene?
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah. I think this is infamous, as it should be.
I mean, okay. Well, fans of Tom and Jerry, if you've not seen... In fact, fans of the film, Willy Wonka, if you haven't seen the boat scene from this movie, by now, go and watch it. Like, take a second, pause this, go and watch that, and then come back to this. We'll give you a minute.
Because the boat scene from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is iconic. I think it was even voted like one of the scariest moments on one of those TV shows, where they go through actual horror movies.
Yeah. That
particular scene got a mention in the top 100.
I think it's because it's dark, it's a tunnel. It's showing you your deepest fears, this tunnel.
It shows like a chicken having its head chopped off and all sorts.
And
it's really grim, isn't it?
I think that's quite brutal, but I grew up in a butcher's shop, so I'm used to that shit. I'm like,
you're a sicko.
I was like, what's the problem here? This is a good old family film.
While you're skinning a rabbit.
Yeah, just don't worry about it. Calm down, Pig's Head. Sat next to me, and Pig's Head
my God.
sat there. That would not happen. I'm just letting you know.
Everybody, James is sat here skinning a rabbit.
Let me tell you this. I had a very normal childhood. It just so happens I was surrounded by murder.
All right, Leatherface, calm down.
In a parallel universe, I am Leatherface. I appreciate that. What?
What?
So that scene, obviously, it's the poem. It's the where there's no knowing where we're going.
Is it the fires of hell?
Is
What's
it
it
raining?
called?
Is the fires of hell are blowing? Yes.
Right, everybody. James has played Willy Wonka, and he did this particular poem, and he does not remember it.
Okay. Well. First of all, that was 18 years ago. We need to get over the fact that I don't remember those words.
But you should.
I know I should. Also, I smashed that. So, don't even worry about it.
Did you do a better job than Tuffy?
Did I do a better job than Tuffy? No. Did I do a better job than Chalamet? Potentially, yes.
It's not hard though, is it, Mr. One Note?
Well,
I sing everything in one key.
Again, please listen to the Wonka episode of the Biscuits Blurays New Legacy podcast. Thank you very much. In the boat scene, however, Tuffy's doing it. He's delivering it that way. Mm-hmm. She.
Yeah.
Tuffy is delivering those lines. It's spectacular.
It's so random because we don't get the weird kind of images on the wall as we remember them.
We get creepy stuff though. I mean, we get clowns, we get robots.
We get a robot, we get a stuffed dog.
Yeah. The scary things.
It was absolutely incredible.
I was shook watching it. I couldn't take my eyes off it. Obviously we'd seen bits of it, but I hadn't seen it in its entirety. And I think that scene that Tuffy delivers is as good as Gene Wilder. And I'll die on that hill. I think it's spectacular.
You incorrect, but it is something else.
I fully understand this. I am the problem.
You are the problem.
Pure imagination's in this though, isn't it?
It is.
It's quite nice.
And we still get Wonka playing with Mike TV's hair.
In the Wilder film, that is weird, but you appreciate that Wilder is doing something.
Yeah.
Here, he looks like he's doing it because he wants to chop off Mike TV's head.
Which we're here for.
I mean, absolutely.
This is also one thing about this. Bearing in mind that some of the scenes in this have been a shot for shot of the movie, they've still cut a lot of stuff out. The beginning scene with the Candyman, they decide that out of all the bits they're going to cut in that scene, they did not want to get rid of the child being hit in the face with the bar.
Bit backstory. If you have seen the original film, you probably catch it in the corner of your eye. But it's a blooper that they left in the film, essentially. Do you remember the scene in Star Wars where the stormtrooper bangs his head?
Yes.
I didn't realise that the Candyman hit the girl in the head scene was as famous as that Star Wars one. I didn't know this.
Yeah, it's massively famous.
I didn't know. I never noticed that child being hit in the face until someone...
Oh, and you've played Willy Wonka, bloody hell.
I don't ever remember it.
But no, it is a really famous scene, and people have laughed at it for years because it's just great.
We get a kick out of it.
We do, and for some reason, again, they cut so much out of this scene, and because they're adding Tom and Jerry into it.
Yeah.
But they keep that bit.
Interesting.
But that's just amazing.
Luckily, we don't get Grandpa Joe going at it at that tasty wallpaper.
Yes, we don't get that.
Which is, thank God they cut that scene.
No, instead we get some weird Mr. Lemmywinks. Instead. They decided to swap that.
We see his inner thigh.
Oh.
So, the scenes you would expect this film to have are there. The Oompa Loompa songs are still there.
Yep, and they are, again, a rip of what you'd expect.
Exactly the same.
With the weird font.
They're a faster tempo, which I appreciate. Because I think those songs are a drag.
No, they're not.
I'll take it back. I think they are done well here. Those scenes. But again, we can't stay with those for too long because Tom and Jerry are fucking about in the river.
Yeah, they're messing about. There are so many people that have been in this chocolate river.
So, but just for a thing as well, Tom and Jerry are in the factory as well. They sneak in, but they're being chased by Slugworth and Butch, but they're being taken on a tour with Tuffy. So when Augustus falls into the river, Tom does as well, and I think Jerry does.
No, Jerry and Tuffy then fall in.
Yeah, so those three fall in, they get out, and Slugworth and Butch go in. This is a sanitary nightmare.
Well, number one, you wouldn't have mice working in your factory.
I don't think Willy Wonka knows that Tuffy is a mouse. Tuffy is dressed in full Oompa Loompa gear.
But you wouldn't want a cat and a mouse and a dog in your sweets factory, would you?
I find it quite interesting that Willy Wonka isn't in charge of the hiring process for the Oompa Loompa.
They've got their own little school.
Because Tuffy goes for a job interview to be one, but he's not quite the
designated lens.
So yeah,
Wonka's got his own HR team. They sort that out for him.
Oh, okay. Where?
There's going to be other rooms in that factory, bar the 5 we see.
Is there so you're telling me that Willy Wonka's chocolate factory has an HR department?
Of course it has.
And it's all Oompa Loompas?
Oh yeah, they do it all.
Oompa Loompa, do pretty daint. It sounds to me you've got a complaint. Did you like that?
Do you know what? I'm really mad at myself that impressed me.
Yeah, I'm full of it.
Oh my god.
As of the original book, Augustus goes up the pipe. Violet is turning violet. Mm-hmm. Thank you. The chewing.
Yeah.
They use that on Butch. To stop Butch, they shove a chewing gum in his mouth and he turns all big.
But I don't remember him going to the juicing room.
You're trying to kill him. And in one of the chase sequences, we see what can happen to them. Because Butch gets hit by the machine and he's put into a box and he's sliced and diced.
It's chopped into fudge.
So now that we can see what's happening in the depths of the factory, we know that these kids are in grave danger.
They absolutely are, because he's just a madman.
Yeah, he's crazy. HR nightmare.
This is why he needs a HR team.
Because of the children he keeps killing.
Because of all these children.
Okay. I don't know why, but that just makes this one darker than that one.
It's really weird. But do you know what? If you've got some time to...
Yeah.
It's something you could slap on and have a good time with.
We get the song again, I Want the World, I Want a Bean Feast.
Why
it's a duet.
Again, it's a duet for no reason between Slugworth
and Veruca.
Not that they're singing it in the same room. They're singing it completely separately. There's a chase scene going on between Tom and Jerry and Tuffy. Mm-hmm. And it's really weird. I kind of switched off by that point because we'd had quite a lot of chase sequences with Slugworth.
Yeah.
And it just got a bit boring.
I agree. I don't think that is the strength of this film.
No, I like the stuff without Slugworth and Butch.
I like the stuff with Tom and Jerry. Tuffy's a good inclusion. But, yeah, Slugworth and Butch, no.
Tom and Jerry were funnier when they weren't in the factory.
When they were chasing each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Mike TV gets transported. He's a small boy now. He's half the man he used to be. But we then still get the reveal... Well, we get the whole fizzy lifting drinks and all that stuff.
We don't get a scene that we really, really like, though. Swift as an eagle.
Stronger than lions! I think that still happens, though.
It must still happen, but we don't get to see it, unfortunately.
We do get the... Okay, here's your gobstopper back. Oh, no, we get the whole... Charlie, does he get his endless supply of chocolate now? No, you get nothing. We get all that.
Yeah.
That's basically note for note as well.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate...
Until it actually goes where you then let a cat in the factory, so you're even more fucked.
Yeah, I've got to sanitise everything thrice now because
not just the fizzy lifting drink area, but I've got to do the whole factory because you've let a cat in.
Although he does say you've let these three in, pointing at Tom, Jerry, and Tuffy. Tuffy's not part of their crowd.
No.
Tuffy's part of Wonka's crowd.
If anything, Tuffy's the problem from showing them round. What was stopping her from going and telling Wonka?
Tuffy is a menace.
Absolute menace.
Correct. However, we do get the... Okay, here's your gobstopper back. And he puts his hand on it. It says that little rhyme. And
Yeah.
he's like, you've got the endless supply of chocolate and stuff. And then off to the elevator they go. Oh, bring Tom and Jerry. Don't care about those. It's just a batch of chocolate I've got to waste now. Fucking hell.
So we get the glass elevator scene. We get the reveal that obviously Slugworth isn't the real Slugworth. He's an actor that's working for
Mr.
Wonka.
Wilkinson. Yeah.
And he was pretending to be Slugworth to try and weed out the children that were little shits that didn't deserve the factory.
Mm-hmm. And then into the elevator they go. We've pressed every button apart from that one. Press it, Charlie. Off he goes. It basically wraps up the same way.
Except for we get a really creepy shot of Wonka.
He says, what happened to the kid who got everything he ever wished for?
Yeah.
What? Oh, he lived happily ever after. And then he does the creepiest smile.
That James also does.
What? That's my normal smile. It's nice. Representation matters. That's all I'm saying. Then the film ends with, if you want a view paradise.
Again, it's sped up and it's
nice.
It's nice. It's silly.
This is a harmless film.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked it.
I thought it was alright.
Mm-hmm.
It's not one that I would just slap on for no reason.
We did slap it on for no reason.
You know what I mean, though. We didn't slap this on for no reason. This was on for the podcast.
What do I do now? I bought it. Do I keep it for life?
You're going to keep this, don't lie.
Oh, I might have to now. Does that mean we have to do like the Wizard of Oz? And
I think you'll end up doing them as well.
Well, we've opened a hole here, haven't we? The Tom and Jerry hole.
We have indeed.
Ugh.
I'll go out and buy some cake mixes.
Oh, God. I bet you can't find Tom and Jerry cake
mixes. You can, because they still do them. I don't think they're as nice as they used to be. But
I remember them being sugar concentrated.
Oh, just pure sugar.
Beautiful
what
sugar.
What a time that was to be alive.
Is this better than Space Jam?
It's hard because I don't know how I judge it. Do I judge it based on the Tom and Jerry stuff or on the Willy Wonka stuff? Because that story's banging.
What is tricky is that you have to kind of combine both because that's the plot of this movie.
I'm going to say no.
Whoa! Okay. Strike that, reverse it.
No, I think Space Jam is better.
Okay, that's interesting.
Not by much.
Ah, okay. Is the Tom and Jerry stuff better than Space Jam here?
No.
Is the Willy Wonka stuff better than
That
Space Jam? That
story is what's good.
Okay. Is the story good, or is this telling of that story good?
This telling of this story, again, it doesn't do anything different. It's exactly the same. The only bit that's different is the addition of Tom and Jerry and them needing to have a point for being in this.
Okay.
Everything else that just remains the same is fine.
Uh-huh.
And is better than Space Jam.
Sure. But overall, it's not.
Overall, it's on par or not.
Yes.
How about you?
I would say on par.
Mm-hmm.
I give this 3. I give Space Jam... Well, I give Space Jam 5, but I appreciate that's not a good film. I think this is as good as Space Jam. The Tom and Jerry stuff in it, I liked. The Willy Wonka stuff in it that was good, I really liked. But it's that Slugworth stuff. Really weighs it down.
It does, yeah. We could have just dealt with maybe just being in the beginning, doing his weird The Wall thing.
Yeah.
And then just fucking off.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But then what's the point in having Tom and Jerry in it at all?
You have to have a reason for those guys to be here.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they could have just dropped Charlie off at the factory and just not seen them for the rest of the film.
You've got an obvious villain with having Slugworth there.
Yeah. But he's not a villain.
But he isn't.
But why wouldn't he just go, okay, actually, come here, guys, I'll clue you in, and be like, right, actually, I'm working with Wonka, my name's Mr. Wilkinson, and this is all so Charlie can get the factory. If you guys stop beating me up for 5 minutes, we can just sort all this out.
It doesn't have to be acting so fucking creepy, though, either, does he? That's a choice he made.
Why does he have to sing that song if that's not exactly what he wants?
He's just weird.
I just think that's a weird choice. Fine. But please just go and watch it.
Just watch the boat scene at least.
The boat scene was something else, and it really adds a star to this for me.
Wow, is that what you're adding a star for? The boat scene on its own?
That's what I had a star for in the original one.
Okay.
And the boat scene something else.
I thought it was swift as an eagle.
Stronger than lions. Yeah. But the songs are good. I'm glad some of the stuff is cut, but the filler that they put in there is some of it's okay, but not. It doesn't.
A lot of it doesn't work.
A lot of it doesn't work. But you be the judge. Is Tom and Jerry and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Fuck me, that's a mouthful. Is it better?
That's what you said.
Of chocolate. Keep it light. Is it better than Space Jam? If you've seen it, please let us know. If you haven't, I hope we've done something to you to make you go, I might check that out.
Even if it's shit and you wasted an hour of your life.
Which I would argue, I think we have.
Yes.
But
I think it's worth it. If not just for the boat scene, just check it out, please, because it's a complete weird piece of film.
It's a trip, isn't it? Yeah. So, thank you for listening. We don't know what episode this is in between, so we don't know what's next.
No.
But please tune in next week where it's probably Tom and Jerry meets... Quick question. What film would you like to see Tom and Jerry in?
The Shining.
Great. Thank you guys.
What about you?
Oh, I don't know. The Godfather, maybe?
You've not even seen The Godfather.
Exactly. I'd watch it if Tom and Jerry were in it.
Oh my god.
I stand by that. We'll see you next week, guys. Thanks for listening.
Bye.